Certainly. As a teacher, I'll provide you with a more interactive and classroom-like explanation of the biological method. Class, today we're going to explore the fascinating world of science and how scientists study living organisms using something called the biological method. This method helps us answer questions about life and understand how things work. So, let's dive right in. What is science, and what's the biological method? Great question. Science is like a detective game where we try to solve mysteries about the natural world. The biological method is just one way we do this when dealing with living things. It's like a step-by-step process that helps us find answers to questions about life. Can you explain the steps of the biological method, please? Absolutely. Imagine you're a biologist, and you've stumbled upon an interesting question about living organisms. Here's what you do. Biological method. Now, within the vast field of science, we have something called the biological method. This method is specifically designed to solve problems related to living organisms. It's been a key player in scientific discoveries for centuries and has led to major advancements in medicine, ecology, and technology. Steps of the biological method. This happens when biologists recognize some biological problem and go for its solution in solving a biological problem. Biologist takes following steps. Recognition of biological problem. Observations. Hypothesis formulation, deductions, experimentation, summarization of results, create tables, graphics, etc. Reporting the results. 1. Recognition of the biological problem. This is where a biologist identifies a specific question or issue related to living organisms. This could be something that someone else has asked or a question that they've come up with themselves. 2. Observations. The first step in solving a biological problem is to make observations. These observations can be based on the 5 human senses: vision, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. Biologists may recall previous observations or make new ones. These observations can be both qualitative, descriptive, and quantitative, measurable. Quantitative observations, measured in numbers, are considered more precise. Qualitative observations examples. The freezing point of water is colder than the boiling point, or a liter of water is heavier than a liter of ethanol. Quantitative observations examples. The freezing point of water is 0 degrees Celsius, and the boiling point is 100 degrees Celsius, or a liter of water weighs 1,000 grams, and a liter of ethanol weighs 789 grams. 3. Formulation of hypotheses. Once observations are made, biologists organize and relate them to the problem at hand. This process leads to the creation of a hypothesis, a tentative explanation for the observations. A hypothesis should be a general statement, consistent with existing observations, simple, and testable. A hypothesis should have the following characteristics. It should be a general statement. It should be a tentative idea. It should agree with available observations. It should be kept as simple as possible. It should be testable and potentially falsifiable. In other words, there should be a way to show the hypothesis is false, a way to disprove the hypothesis. 4. Deductions. Deductions are logical consequences of hypotheses. Biologists use then logic to make predictions based on their hypotheses. For instance, if a biologist hypothesizes that all plant cells have a nucleus, the deduction would be, if we examine cells from a blade of grass, then each one will have a nucleus. 5. Experimentation. This is a crucial step where biologists design and conduct experiments to test their hypotheses. The deductions drawn from hypotheses are rigorously tested to determine if they are correct. Correct hypotheses are accepted, while incorrect ones are rejected. Accepted hypotheses can lead to further predictions for testing. 6. Summarization of results. Biologists collect quantitative data from experiments and analyze them statistically. Data from different groups are compared, and conclusions are drawn based on the results. 7. Reporting the results. Finally, biologists share their findings for publications in scientific journals, books, presentations at conferences, and seminars at educational institutions. Sharing results allows others to verify the findings and apply the knowledge to solve other problems. In summary, the biological method is a structured approach that biologists use to investigate and understand biological problems. It involves making observations, forming hypotheses, conducting experiments, and sharing results, all of which contribute to our ever-expanding knowledge of the living world. This method has been instrumental in advancing our understanding of biology and its applications in various fields. Thank you for joining our journey through scientific concepts with Waqar Academy.